Hey, what's up, guys? So, as some of you might have heard, I actually ended up dying last night, and some people didn't understand the rip, didn't quite know what happened, didn't quite understand how he can die with this amount of life, and I'm just gonna go in detail over my rip, hopefully in detail. Hopefully I'm understanding everything right. Alright, so let's go. Let's just watch it for the first time. You can see I'm kind of strolling through this map. The character is actually very powerful, and then BOOM! And I'm dead, instantly, 9k life. I'm dead. How did this happen? And if you watch it again, you see that my reactions are not bad. I have a granite going. I also, when this goes down, you can see that I actually use my potions as a means of pre-potting, aka having my life at 100%. And then if this damage ends up being overwhelming, I'm gonna log out, right? So the reactions were all there. My molten shell popped, they're all enfeebled, I have an arrow in them, so they will die, I know this. And then I just instantly die, and none of this mattered, it seems, right? And you can even see that once the arrow goes off, you know, they pretty much die, just the two rares stay alive. Alright. Whoa. What's happening here? Dude, Twitch, I just don't even know anymore. Alright. So let's go over this again. Now that I'm sorry, Twitch is just a little bit too much for me. Alright, so what exactly happened? The thing about POE is a lot of people might look at this and they're like, 9k life, how is this possible? Well, having a lot of life is not really a form of mitigation, especially now when physical damage is so huge. I feel like GGG has really done a big mistake because they've been like buffing armor, but everyone refused to use it because of MOM Arctic armor. But now they buffed armor even more so that they forced people into using it, but they gave physical like attacks so much damage, it's just unbearable. And it's very hard to deal with unless you have armor. It's pretty much the same thing as they did with Split Arrow, where you know, nobody was using Split Arrow, so it must be bad, even though it was like the strongest ability in the game. But I feel like they've made a grave mistake with that. But again, having just a lot of life is not a form of mitigation. Armor is, and that's about it. I mean, evasion helps with Fizz, but you still die to physical spells, or you know, something gets through to you and you have a problem unless you have a lightning coil, which is really expensive now because it's tier 1, or you have like endurance charges or something. It's just very hard to stay alive unless you've got armor. But the character was actually strolling through maps. The sustain with Frenzy and also the leech through Explosive Arrow is actually really helpful. But you can also see that in this map I have, it's a vulnerability, temp chains, which doesn't bother me, and then none of this bothers me. Monsters poison and hit, which doesn't bother because the rip was pretty much instant, and then monsters deal 102% extra damage is cold. Vulnerability plus this equals a really ripped map. I've done plenty of maps like these before. It is risky, but it is how you have to roll your maps. You can see that it's 106 quantity and then 43 back size on an 80 map. That's pretty freaking amazing, and honestly these mods aren't a big price to just do the map. Right, so I was feeling okay. This was towards the end of the map. You can see that pretty much I cleared just about everything. I've even been to this zone, and yeah, these mobs just completely took me by surprise. And yeah, again, you can see all the reactions and how this all went down, and it's really like really fast. You can see the first time I got hit, I don't have a granite, but I did potion. It might have been a little bit too early, but that's what happens when you're pre-potting. I mean, you just smash your potions, hopefully mitigating some of the damage, and then hopefully having enough time to log out in case something happens with this character. You just shoot in there, smash your potions, charge up with the frenzy, and you should be fine. But this was overwhelming. There's a physical aura here, so that definitely doesn't help. They are enfeeble, and I do have molten shell, which increases my armor. But the thing about PoE is, once the mob starts swinging at you, for instance, Aroa is a really stretched out example of this. Once Aroa is already charging at you, it snapshots its damage. No matter what you do to it, it's always gonna deal the same exact amount of damage to you. Even if you pop your potions, you enfeeble it, this and that, it doesn't matter. It's gonna blast you. It's gonna hit you for the full amount of damage. That's pretty much what happened here. You can see that I dropped a lot, and then the mobs are already swinging, so the granite actually doesn't help. The Infibule actually doesn't help. The Molten Shell, I'm gonna show you in a little bit, doesn't even go off, so like Life Leech on a Molten Shell doesn't even help. I don't know why my Molten Shell didn't explode, but, you know, it's POE sometimes. And... instantly died, right? No shocks, nothing, just map mods. You know, 3 mobs hit me, and I instantly die. They weren't even buffed, that's the big thing. They weren't even buffed with the Tempest. I thought they were buffed, maybe they shocked me, this and that. No, that's just how much mobs hit now. For how much mobs hit now, so... I don't know, GGG, Armor GTFO? You can use a Lightning Coil, which could potentially kill you because you can get shocked with a Lightning Coil. I don't know if I could crit it, maybe not, maybe yeah. Pretty brutal stuff, but that's just about it. Try and be careful about physical damage. I still recommend the build. It was amazing clearing, it was really fast, it was really tanky for how long it lasted. I could have been at 9.5k live, but I opted to use a Devoto Devotion, which I'm going to talk about in the build guide. That's pretty much it. I mean, this is a 7-minute rip video. That's pretty terrible. But hey, at least we made it to the top 50, right? Yeah. Alright. See you guys soon. Hopefully the race season is starting. Well, the race season is starting in about 2 days, so I'm going to be uploading everything about that. I'm going to be talking about it constantly, and we're going to analyze, and hopefully we're all going to grow as racers and as PoE players. But thank you again very much for tuning in. See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.